In the last year or so, there have been so many unknowns. And the thing about cycling is that you will get out what you put in.
This is the part of cycling that I probably love the most. It's that part where we push to the limit of our bodies and see how far more can I go.
Through pain and suffering arises glory. Pain is only temporary. You know, you're suffering for a small amount of time today, but then the story and the achievement lasts for much, much longer.
It will require so much effort, but the rewards that will come with it, the sense of accomplishment, the experience of it, that is just so exciting.
I think I'm ignorantly optimistic about this ride. We're riding 220 miles.
220 miles.
220 miles in 20 hours.
In 20 hours.
For Ambitious About Autism. So I've been riding a bike all my life, really. I'd ride a bike to get from one village to the next growing up in Wales, but I've been into cycling properly for the past 5 years, I'd say.
I've been cycling since I was, a child, like 5 or 6. Yeah, kind of just about riding a bike to get from A to B until I was about 16, and I took up road cycling properly. Got involved with a local club, and then my university team as well, and then joining the RCC just before I started working for Rafa.
When coronavirus happened, I had to find something to, maintain my fitness levels. I was getting a bit chubby, to be honest. Bought a static trainer, started riding on Zwift, and then someone just said, you should get a bike and start riding on the road. And then met the boys from Rafa, and that's when a lot changed, and I became obsessed with cycling. And now it's been, a full year of cycling every day and going into some crazy challenges.
So up until now, the biggest ride I've done is just over 200 kilometres. Last year, Gareth and I took on the Triple Crown, and the third stage of that was riding from Manchester to Blackpool and back. And that was a big day out. That was day 3 of riding.
In terms, of long distance, I did ride from Manchester to Cardiff. Something quite similar, not 24 hours, but close.
I think I'm ignorantly optimistic about this ride.
We're riding from Edinburgh Castle to Manchester, 220 miles in 20 hours.
It's a long day on the bike.
I'm going to be doing the Cross Britain Challenge, in the middle fitting this ride, obviously. So by the time I meet the boys, probably I'll be ready or tired.
I'm really excited and nervous about this upcoming ride. It's not that we're going quick, it's our ability to stay in the saddle, and like a diesel engine, we will just keep going and going and going. And it's your ability to suffer, which is exciting and terrifying.
I was really disappointed on Friday that the First Minister of Scotland just announced out of the blue, as far as we were concerned, a travel ban, saying that people couldn't travel from Scotland to Manchester and Salford and people couldn't go the other way.
So I was driving back today from Wales and I heard in the news about the Manchester-Scotland travel ban. It doesn't feel responsible and it feels too risky.
I need to give it a little more research perhaps tomorrow, but there is a coast-to-coast route that finishes or starts sort of in the Newcastle direction, which means we could follow part of that over towards Carlisle.
Yeah, if we went from South Shields, from the Barber Iron Lighthouse thing.
South Shields to, through Newcastle, that sort of thing. That might be a...
Yeah. Edinburgh, Manchester has such a beautiful simplicity.
Newcastle, Carlisle, Manchester doesn't quite have the ring to it, but...
For me, it's quite straightforward from the sounds of it. Just obviously,
cool.
Well, I say straightforward, it was straightforward, and now it's kind of going a bit of a west, what is it, an easterly, westerly type direction.
Yeah, we're basically doing a coast to coast, which is a ride in itself, and then cycling all the way down to Manchester.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about it?
Manners, Cramlington and Morpeth. This train
The rain is just an added psychological battle, and actually when it's raining you're so aware that it's raining, and if you're cold you're so aware that it's cold.
Hello. How are you? Oh, nice to see you. Nice to see you.
All right.
Yeah, I survived. Yeah, no sleep. What time were you up this morning?
Johnny has been servicing mine and Mark's bikes to make sure that they're tip top and ready, and he's a big cyclist, and he was going to join us originally when we were doing Edinburgh down. He was going to meet us in Carlisle, and then he thought, well, I might join him from the start and give him a bit of moral support. So he says he's going to stay with us for as long as possible, but I'm hoping he'll do the whole thing. You're going to do the whole thing, okay? He's doing the whole thing.
All fueled up, ready to go. Oh dear. Hey,
All good?
I think so. Is that right?
Yep. Cool. Minimum standards. Wheels must go round.
Wheels have to turn, yeah.
When it's 10:10, it's going to be midnight before we know it, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Tuna cucumber, I've got pork pies as well. Good luck getting them on.
Right.
I've never used them, but I've seen people try and
Right.
use them.
So apparently these are notoriously hard to put on, and they're just kind of like latex, rubber kind of like shoe covers. So I might take up all of my energy for the ride just trying to put them on. Oh my lord! Come on. Right. How do I look?
Hopefully I'll have Ricardo's location in a sec. No.
Oh, has he got a tracker?
He has a tracker that was last updated 11.5 hours ago.
Oh dear.
Hmm.
He's somewhere north of here then.
So as far as I'm aware, he's still in Edinburgh.
Right. Wait. What time is it right now?
It's 25 past 11. No, 10.
Christ, don't do that to me.
Because
oh my God,
South Shields by metro, I don't know how long that is. Half an hour?
It's 13 miles away, so it's going to be half an hour riding at least.
We'll dash to the sea, we'll dip our toes, then we'll turn around. I'll see you guys in a bit. See you in a bit. Thank you.
I got the,
Sorry about that.
It's alright, understand.
Okay, so where are we going?
So,
He was very polite.
he was polite, yeah.
The tram conductors wouldn't let the bikes on the tram, which means we can't go with them on the tram. So they're cycling to the next stop. We're going to get back in the car and meet them at the starting point.
What do you mean it's one per carriage?
we haven't started the ride yet, just that, it's not the actual start of that, was it?
No, it wasn't the actual start,
That was our practice.
that was the prologue.
And we needed it.
We needed that.
Yeah.
We know exactly what we're doing now.
That's it. Homing pigeon.
Handlebars are here. This is a wheel. It's another wheel.
Which side do we want to go to?
South Shields.
South Shields.
South Shields, your platform on that way.
Thank you.
South Shields one, that one.
Oh, that one there. Yeah, just take the South Shields. Thank you very much.
Do you know where Ricardo is now?
I have no idea.
No.
Not a clue.
His tracking stopped working at about 11:30 p.m, so he's somewhere between Edinburgh and Carlisle.
I used to ride bikes a lot. I've never been good. I've just been enthusiastic for a long time. And lately, I lost some of that enthusiasm. And only really when Mark started talking about this ride did I feel like I wanted to get involved. And ride again. So, rightly or wrongly, with very little preparation, I'm heading to the start. The other part to this, of course, is I'm really fortunate in that because I'm a last-minute addition, I don't feel any pressure. You know, underprepared, just tagging along at the back. Doesn't matter if I don't make it.
So I purposefully went out a couple of weeks ago and did 40k in the night, and I hadn't slept or anything beforehand, just to make myself tired and kind of see how it was riding in like through the dark, and it felt so much longer than.
I'm aware of night time. I've never been out on a bike in the night time.
Okay.
I know what night time is.
Yes.
Oh, so you've seen night
I've
time
seen
before?
night time. I'm familiar with the idea, but I've never been on a bike in the night time.
Oh, right. It's good. Yes.
I just said to Gareth, this is the first time that the excitement's kind of tipped over the edge into a little bit of nerves and, you know, I wouldn't call it anxiety, but definitely that sort of like very real feeling.
I think it's because the ride's too big to like. It's too big to have in your head in one. You know, so it feels like we're doing maybe 4 days of cycling. You know, it's too big. Isn't it?
For any normal person, this is 4 days worth of cycling.
See, we're also the support car, so the problem is we've got the car full of camera gear, crew, but also support stuff for the riders, food and supplies and new inner tubes, that kind of thing.
So, double or single?
We'll go with double.
Double?
Yeah. The car's full. It's going to be a tight squeeze for us, and we've got at least 16 hours to go. So I'm tired already.
There you go, double up.
Thank you very much, mate. All right, ready? Let's go.
Hey!
There it is.
Ride started.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
Start ride, 3, 2, 1. Go.
So we shouldn't have been on a dual carriageway, just FYI. That's why we hopped the bank. Glad you guys found us.
wasn't so bad, that. Glad that my first stint's done though.
We got half an hour's kip, and then we'll see where they are.
Yeah.
And as soon as we said that, we saw you like.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We honestly thought you might be like an hour, and then you literally like 10 minutes.
We've had a generous tailwind.
Yeah, we've got to be honest. We battered our way out of Newcastle, and then the rain got better, and then we had an amazing tailwind, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was just amazing.
Did you see the Scots in Lederhosen in the centre of Newcastle?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah, I think that's, you know, when I'm blocking out the painful memories several weeks from now, I'm going to focus on the guys in Lederhosen cheering us on that first little hill.
Well, my landmark to tell me that I was in Newcastle this morning, I stepped out of the train station, looked left, and there was just a man in a lime green mankini standing in the rain, waiting for his mate's stag do. So,
of course. Excellent.
Ricardo, okay?
He's fine, yeah, he's in Carlisle. He was just asking us to when. He's a bit cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you give him any instruction as to
where is
to
it?
try and find shelter?
Yeah.
Or?
Gaz and I researched what was open at what time, and everything closes
We looked
overnight.
at like any food, shelter, anything.
I was just thinking Citadel
Train
Station will probably have an open door, and at least then he's out of the wind.
Yeah, okay.
Got to say, I do like your pedals. I've never seen pedals like that. That probably sounds so like amateur cyclist. Because you're either a bike rider or a cyclist. I'm a bike rider, these guys are cyclists.
Where does the line cross over from bike rider to cyclist?
I think the pedals, and when you dress like that, I think that's
right,
yeah. That's a bit genius.
Yeah.
And then the guy said the only way you can do it is probably go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital and get coronavirus or something, you know, by sitting there. So I found a 24-hour petrol station, but still I can't also go inside. So yeah, I'm just sitting here outside. I can't move from where I am. I will freeze, literally. Like, I'm sitting here and I just, I can feel right now, like, my sweat dripping down my back, and it's just freezing. I'm shaking, man. I can't even hold my phone.
Update on Ricardo.
Yeah.
He's in Carlisle.
Yeah.
He's freezing cold, and can't find anywhere to shelter, so we're gonna dash ahead. Yeah. Get some time in the car, and then we'll come back and try and catch you guys.
Yeah,
before you get to Carlisle.
Fine. So
if in the meantime he can shelter in the station, Johnny said there might be an open door there. He can sit in
it's usually open
out of the wind somewhere.
Yeah.
I think is that him? Hey Ricardo.
Hold on.
Hey dude.
Hey Ricardo.
Are you alright?
How are you, man?
Yeah. I'm struggling.
Yeah. Alright, should we get going then? Alright, we're on our way.
Let's go.
Mate, to go, man.
I just need to get warm and I'll get my energy back. But
get in that heated seat. Here we go.
My bad.
I'll watch it.
Watch your legs on there.
Oh. I went like to 5 hotels. Everyone is like, you cannot stay here, you cannot stay here. And then one guy said, oh, here's a coffee. And then I was just making conversation, so I could stay there for like hour, 45 minutes. So I stayed there for 45 minutes, and then I was like, okay, look for 24 hours. And then this lady with me for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then I had to come outside, and I was just there, like trying to shelter from. It's freezing. I was even riding with the mask, so that the warm would stay in my face.
At least, like going forward now, like you've got, you're gonna be together.
Yeah,
the sun's with
exactly.
you.
Like this was the hardest part. This was like, I was dreading it. I was just like, that's why I wanted to get out of the way. I was like, I can't wait for midnight.
Yeah. Where are they at?
Hey dude.
Hello.
How are you, man?
These guys saved me. How are you guys feeling?
Tired.
It's long.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's all good. It's what are we on?
It's good that I didn't start at 12, because if I had started at 12, no way I could make it here. Not on my own.
Yeah.
It's a big difference if you're alone.
Yeah.
So I started at 6 or 7.
Oh, really?
And it's still, still was tough. The last 10 Ks, I was just like, just get here. Because for me, that's the hardest 10 Ks of actually my whole trip.
We're gonna go and get food. We're gonna go to Greg's, get food, cup
Like
of
a
tea,
hot
coffee.
drink, maybe some porridge.
So it's 6:20, so max 40 minutes.
I think that's
Less,
yeah.
ideally less, right? We don't want 40.
Try and get back on schedule.
Yeah.
Well, if we leave before 7, like on the road, like before 7 o'clock, that's.
Is that?
I think that's good
schedule.
time.
Yeah,
Cool.
fine.
Let's do
Great.
that.
Let's
No
do
more
that.
nodding off at the bars.
Yeah, we need caffeine.
I've been thinking about a cup of tea for a very long time. Nothing deep or meaningful, just tea. I've been picturing it in a little, disposable Greg's cup. Yeah.
Oh my god, this tea is like heaven. It's I actually felt my eyes go. Also, just FYI,
These guys can pass in the car, looking all like awesome, boot open, don't get excited. We've already started to feel, literally they come past, you get out of the saddle, and like, dangerous. Okay, 2 minutes past 7. Back to the car, get supplies. Probably not look very Tour de France-esque in our puffer jackets and fleeces, but have a little cry. Crack on to the Lake District. Let's do it. How was that?
Oh, right. Oh dear.
What, our riders?
Our riders. The field that we passed, where there was the farmer with all the cows in it, who was sort of ushering them towards a new field, which might be here. Do you want to get out?
Yeah. Get me out, get me out, get me out. Just put that down. Can you do the other one?
Yep. Come on, let's go. Come on.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Pothole.
Potholes.
Potholes.
Loads of them.
Pothole.
Pothole. Poles. Metal grid. God, so many obstacles, it's ridiculous.
Oh. Yeah, boys. Get in my pocket.
You alright?
So we're gonna
because like we're very tired, we're going to avoid a climb called Trough of Bowland, which is Forest of Bowland. We're going to go round the bottom of it, so we're going to detour. The mileage will still be the same to the mile, but instead of doing 1,600 metres, it's about 800 or 900 metres, which is the lowest we could do to get us back. But it's not like one massive climb.
It's almost half of what we would have had to do.
Yeah.
Three back to Haribo.
I'm feeling exotic, so I'm going to go with the pineapple.
Any closing statements before the final push? Anyone?
Tell my family I love them.
Yeah, let's bring it home. Right, just do it. Let's see.
Okay, so it's currently about 10:30 and we've made the decision to head straight into Manchester on the A6. We're going to be arriving hopefully for midnight if we can, and we need to make up another 14-15 miles to hit 220.
God, it's good though.
They're here! They're here!
Get in!
11:45 on the dot.
11:45. That shouldn't be possible. That should not be possible.
Oh my lord.
Oh my god. And now?
227.3.
I apologise for having a kid in Kendal.
13,860 feet of climbing.
Man.
And you made it before midnight. You guys made it before midnight as well.
And that was, ladies and gentlemen, that was 23.46. 23 hours and 46 minutes.
Were there any moments where you forgot why you were doing it, or you questioned, or you thought you had to quit?
The A6.
You know, yeah, the A6, when I thought that we might, like, I was adamant we were just not going to get back here until about 1. I was like, right, well, that. For some reason, although there is no time limit set other than the one we set ourselves, it just felt like a failure.
I remember watching like people doing 24 hours on Zwift, and I thought, that's hard. That's really hard. Like, I'll never do it. And now doing 29 hours.
We're sat outside Rafa and we arrived at 1:45.
Emotional at times, aren't we?
It's really surreal.
So Johnny, you didn't plan to do the whole ride. Like, what's your take on it?
Well, in a way, it's a breeze for me, isn't it? Because I can duck out legitimately at any point, because I'm older than all these guys by like a decade, and I don't ride much at the moment. But as these guys were saying, it would just feel like a failure, and it wasn't even my plan. Like I'd be letting them down or letting myself down. I don't know. So you just keep going, and you kid yourself that you'll make it to the next train station or whatever it might be. And in Kendal, Mark and you guys were having chips, and Mark and I were on the bench. I probably had my eyes closed, and Mark was probably looking a bit low. And we had that frank conversation about why we were doing this. Was it necessary to do this in 24 hours? Nobody was asking us to do it in 24 hours. The whole challenge, we didn't need to do that, but we had to articulate that possibility of giving in on this challenge. You might not know that I've never ridden with any of these guys before. So that's something we didn't even discuss, or I certainly didn't even think about till we started pedaling. But it's quite important when you're working together that you can mesh with other people. But everybody did, and it's not that it wasn't tense, of course it was. And we all misbehave a bit as well, particularly when the camera's on, And so, but it's all in good humour, and everybody just knuckled down in the end and did what they had to do to get here with 15 minutes to spare.
Oh yeah. Is it even midnight yet?
There's still 2 minutes to. We've got 2 whole minutes to spare.
It's so surreal. I was just saying to Marcus before that, like, 24 hours ago, I was in South Shields, setting off in the soaking wet, freezing cold rain.
I always wanted to just keep pushing what I could do on the bike, and how big of an adventure could I take on. And looking back, it wasn't that in June last year I was at like peak fitness, or that I was on the lightest possible road bike or the most expensive techie road bike. It was, what changed was just what I believed I could do and what we as a team believed that we could achieve.
Yeah, I mean, 220 miles is an unbelievable distance to do in one go. It is a big challenge, and it kind of gave me that confidence once completing it that 220 miles seems big, but in actual fact you can break it down into small sections. If you're doing it with someone else, it makes it so much easier.
I don't know whether I could have done it on my own, but I know that the other guys needed support from me and I needed support from them. We were all greater than the sum of our parts, and that's what in part made the adventure successful.
There was times where people were, feeling low, and some were feeling better than others, and you use each other to kind of level out the group. When the camera's on, it's always a bit of a morale boost and everyone gets a bit giddy, and you start chasing the car and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, we spent 24 hours riding together, and that's no mean feat.
I think the lessons that you learn on the bike are absolutely apply off the bike. I work as a freelancer, and theatre and freelancers have been affected hugely in the pandemic. and it requires real resilience to navigate through that and balancing what you do creatively, professionally, and how you then support your kind of day-to-day personal life. And you get the rewards, you know, when you get to do jobs like this, and then we're in a theatre in London. And I think the bike's brilliant for that, because what you put in, you will get out. So the reward, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. It is the hardest thing I've done on a bike, and it really hurt at times. But it's the most rewarding adventure I've ever done. The sense of accomplishment, the teamwork, those memories last with you for years and years to come.